While talking about the physical properties of alkyl halides, we also talked about the physical properties of alcohols to some extent. They do have similarity as far as polarity is concerned. However, in case of alcohols, the polarity goes one step ahead because of hydrogen bonding, which is not there in case of alkyl halides. So in case of alcohols, you expect greater boiling point, etc. Also, mixing with water in case of alcohol is going to be better because it can form hydrogen bonds with water. Now, we will talk about preparation . And as you know, some chemicals are prepared on very large scale. That's what we mean by industrial synthesis. And in many cases, you just want to prepare chemical in your laboratory. Most of the times, our interest lies in laboratory synthesis in this course, but one needs to be aware a little bit about other things as well. Methanol is an industrial chemical. Solvent, antifreeze, preparing formaldehyde, which is an aldehyde. So you need it on a very large scale. It's prepared by hydrogenation of carbon monoxide. I am talking about industrial synthesis. So CO plus 2H2 giving CH3OH. Ethanol. This alcohol has become quite known because some people consume it. But it is also used industrially. So that should ring a bell. Something which is to be used in industry and some people consume it. That's why sometimes it is intentionally made unfit for drinking purpose. Most ethanol comes from fermentation. Now, hydration of alkene is a method that we should be aware of. In alkene reactions, this is discussed. Hydration of alkene giving alcohol. So here, alkene is ethene, 2 carbons. 2-carbon alcohol is obtained. I was saying earlier about this point that intentionally sometimes it is made unfit for drinking. Methanol is not good for human body at all. Not that ethanol is good, but methanol can give some serious problems early. So intentionally adding methanol, intentionally adding benzene, these are different ways of making that ethanol unfit for drinking purpose. And yes, people should be told about it, that this is what is the thing. They don't consume it. Then isopropyl alcohol, again, hydration of alkene, hydration of propene. So meth, S-prop. All alcohols with 4 carbons or fewer are readily available. So they are available in market. And most alcohols with 5 or 6. Why? Because isomerism is increasing, so that's why most alcohol. But if you have some special requirement for your laboratory work, then you need to synthesize. Now, the general methods. Many methods you already know. And a very popular one is hydration of alkenes. Then hydroboration oxidation of alkene. Now what's the difference between these two? Hydration of alkenes and hydroboration oxidation of alkenes. Just the key point. What's the difference in alcohols that you get? Normally speaking, which type of addition do we have in hydration of alkene? Is it not Markovnikov? And what about hydroboration oxidation? Anti-Markovnikov. Right, that's the key. So normally it would be Markovnikov, but in HBO, hydroboration oxidation, it would be anti-Markovnikov. Now, something we have discussed very recently, hydrolysis of alkyl halides. Which reaction am I referring to? Substitution reaction, nucleophilic, or elimination reaction? Substitution reaction. In place of halogen, OH will come, that is substitution reaction. Now, where did this thing come into picture? Synthesis using Grignard reagent. In fact, when we were discussing alkyl halide reaction with metals, that time look at that. R1C, R2 double bond O. Double bond O is on that carbon, it's acyl. And then you have R3MgX. And what you will get is this. So basically, you are able to increase number of carbons Whenever you want to increase number of carbons, think about this. And also note that R1 and R2 don't have to be alkyls necessarily. They don't have to be alkyls necessarily. Say for example, you can choose one side H, other side alkyl carbon, that is, or even both sides you can choose H. That's the case of formaldehyde, both sides H. Let us do a quick review of acid catalyzed hydration of alkenes used to prepare alcohol. The basic concept is very easy: H on one side, OH on the other side. This reaction is typically 50% H2SO4, 50% water. Acid catalyze is very important because somebody will have to disturb alkene. Alkene, or any double bond, triple bond for that matter, is a source of electrons. So somebody who is electrophile would be interested. So in case of acid, you have proton, and proton would be interested in that. So that's why acid is important. Now, here you can see that OH is coming here and H is going there. The general rule is rich becomes richer, which in other words is Markovnikov's rule. Carbon which is rich in hydrogen becomes even richer in hydrogen. Another example showing that CH2 becomes CH3 and OH goes to this side. Right? But knowing this rule is not enough. You have to get into the mechanism. Mechanism involves attack by H+. And then when H+ attacks this double bond, carbocation has to form. And carbocation should be stable comparatively, so the rearrangement type of thing is possible. Here, this carbocation H goes here. Now, when H goes to this carbon, plus goes here. If H goes to this carbon, plus goes here. That's very important. H comes here, plus goes there. If H comes here, plus goes there. So you decide in which carbon putting plus is wise, this or that. And that can be easily seen that this will be tertiary. So this is wise. Carbocation formation, this is a slow step. Carbocation is not going to form quickly. It's not a stable species. And then oxygen has got electrons, carbocation has got positive charge. This is quite natural, this type of interaction. And that gives this intermediate. And then H+ should go. Then H+ should go. So then H plus goes, and you have this alcohol, right? So in short, Markovnikov initiated by H plus goes via carbocation. Carbocation formation is a slow step. Now if you compare different alkenes, then you find a lot of difference. The greater substitution, look at that, greater substitution and rates are becoming too high. 1 versus a million, too high. And that has to do with carbocation stability. More substituted carbocation means should be more stable. And because that's a rate determining step, formation of carbocation. Now we are just reviewing this. So I'm going to focus on the key things. Now, talking about HBO, that would be anti-Markovnikov, because who attacks is the question. There H plus attacks, and here we will see who attacks. The needs, well, you want anti-Markovnikov product. You don't want H to go to the right side and OH to come here. You don't want that. You want this. So what do? You find out a way so that anti-Markovnikov works. HBO is short. Actually, there are 2 steps involved. First is HB, which is hydroboration, and then is oxidation, which actually means get rid of boron. In HB part, boron comes into the system. Then we get rid of boron. Oxidation. Now, in short, BH2 and H, that addition is taking place in the HB part, right? That is in short, but actually BH3 is not the agent which is commonly used. This is not the agent which is commonly used, but eventually this is what happens in the first part, BH2 and H. So who attacks that question? B. You can say BH2 attacks. Like in Markovnikov, H plus attacks. Here you can say that boron attacks. So who attacks? That changes. And that changes the regiochemistry. Now if BH3 is not commonly used, then others are obviously used. Diborane is normally used in decline solvent, B2H6, diborane. Or this fellow, BH3-THF complex. It is not BH3, it's a big fellow. This whole thing is BH3-THF complex. So often BH3 as such is not used. But effectively speaking, the reaction is as if BH3 were added. BH2 on one side and H on the other side. Now, once you have BH2, then you oxidize it using H2O2 and you get OH in place of BH2. And the overall region chemistry is opposite to that of Markovnikov's rule. So you are now getting OH on the other side. So this was one example that carbon rich in hydrogens is not becoming richer because OH is going there eventually. Another example is this one. Carbon which is rich in hydrogen is not becoming richer. OH is going there eventually. Now, to understand why it is opposite to Markovnikov, you have to get into the mechanism. One more point. There is no rearrangement here. So now you can guess no carbocation. The mechanism should be different from carbocation chemistry. Now, stereochemistry, when we say same site, syn. Now, if you look at this alkene and what are getting attached, H and OH, look at dash dash. Wedge means towards the reader and dash means away from the reader. So imagine H behind you into the screen side, OH behind the screen side. Same. They are getting attached on the same side. So it's a syn type of reaction. Right? That's syn addition. Now, this will answer why anti-Markovnikov. Now, look at this alkene, and for the sake of simplicity, just think of it as BH3. Right? Now, you know the electronic structure of boron. Boron means 2 comma 3. So, if you imagine 3 hydrogens connected, then boron is still hungry. Octet rule is not obeyed, right? When we think of BH3, Boron is hungry, it's an electrophile. So now you can imagine why boron is interested. So boron is an electrophile, and this region is electron rich. Now the question is, where will boron attach itself? That decides Markovnikov or anti-Markovnikov. Now, when it was Markovnikov H plus, then what did you think carbocation stability? Now look at this. Boron is going to this carbon, which is less substituted out of the two. This carbon is more substituted. This carbon is less substituted. There is a hydrogen here. So boron goes to the less substituted carbon. H goes to the other side. And then hydrogen peroxide will simply remove that boron part, and you have that OH eventually. Note that when BH3 is coming, it is coming from either the top of the double bond or on the bottom of the double bond. So BH2 and H will be attached on the same side, whether you consider the top or you consider the bottom. Same side. That's why we are getting syn addition. Either the top or the bottom, BH3. H2O2, getting rid of boron part, and you have OH in place of BH2. Now, can you imagine why boron would go to the less substituted carbon? This is going to be your assignment question. Why boron goes to less substituted carbon and not the highly substituted carbon? That's your assignment question. We will continue further. While we talked about Grignard reagents giving alcohol, I thought we needed to cover organolithium reagent giving alcohol also. Well, it's a similar type of reaction, nothing really new. In case of organolithium, you just have RLI type of thing, simpler than Grignard reagent actually, RLI. So the carbon, this carbon, obviously lithium is very electropositive. So this carbon is going to have negative characters. Lithium obviously has positive characters. Now when you look at something like basically RCO group, here it is aldehyde, benzaldehyde. So when you have something like this, C double bond O type of thing, then in C double bond O, oxygen has the negative part, carbon has the positive part. So carbon which has the positive part, this carbon which has the negative part. This carbon will be connected to this chain. Look at this color. Now look at this CH double bond CH2. And then this, like in Grignard reagent, OMgX type of thing was formed. And then you do hydrolysis. So eventually you have OH here. Just like that. So using organolithium to prepare alcohol is just like using Grignard reagent to prepare alcohol via this type of reaction. More methods. Well, we already saw aldehydes and ketones could be used with Grignard reagent, but one can also reduce aldehydes and ketones. Then carboxylic acids also have that RCO acyl group reduction. Esters also have that RCO group reduction. And then this one, reaction of Grignard reagents with epoxide. Well, if you can get one OH, you can get two OH. Diol means two OH groups. So diols by hydroxylation of alkene. This is also covered in alkenes discussion, alkenes reaction. In that we discuss diols also. So last one actually should be familiar to you, I suppose. So I won't really call it absolutely new. If you have aldehydes, you will get primary alcohol. Primary alcohols, it means that carbon which is connected to OH is connected to one more carbon. Carbon which is connected to OH is connected to one more carbon primary, Carbon which is connected to OH is connected to 2 carbons, secondary. Carbon which is connected to OH is connected to 3 carbons, tertiary. Reduction of aldehydes gives primary alcohols. Now note that in case of Grignard reagent, number of carbons increase. But here number of carbons are same. Here is one example. Catalytic hydrogenation. So we are using hydrogen here. You know, hydrogen and platinum make good friends. Hydrogen, platinum, hydrogen, palladium. And the result, this part CHO becomes CH2OH. Ketones, secondary alcohol. Again, look at carbons, same. In case of Grignard reagent, carbons would increase. Example, catalytic hydrogenation. The result, C double bond O becomes CHOH. I have already given you the assignment. We stop now.